Hey, so today we're going to do a thing. It's a bit of a maintenance that I've been meaning to do, and that is we're going to flush our hot water heater. A couple of things to do in preparation for this. Make sure you shut it off, the electric as well as the gas. So on a Suburban hot water heater, there's an electric switch here, and then there's a gas switch on the inside. And then, I don't know, go take a long shower or something, like use up all the hot water. In our case, I took a shower and then I did it last night, and it was pretty cold here. So I went ahead and just let it cool down overnight, and then I just ran the hot water to make sure that it wasn't hot. Safety, safety, safety. Like, you don't want to burn yourself. And then the next thing we have to do is go shut the water off to the coach. Okay, so I'm going to shut the water off to the coach. And if you'll notice here, I've got two spigots and I've got a hose hooked up to the other one. I tried to fix their leaky hot faucet the other day and it just keeps leaking. Anyway, because we're going to need water. So if you don't have double spigots like this, get a Y and put it on here, because you're going to need to shut the water off to the coach, but you're going to need water to do the rinsing action here in a minute. So just make sure that you have another source of water. Now, the next thing we're going to do is put our faucet all the way to hot, and we're going to run it till there isn't any. And we're going to do this on all of them. So both bathrooms, shower, and kitchen. So then come back out here to the hot water heater and open the pressure relief valve. That'll allow the rest of the pressure in the hot water heater to go away, and you'll see this little water dribble out. And once we've got our pressure relieved on here, then we're going to go ahead and take a big socket and loosen this bolt. This is a 1 1/16 socket on a 1/2 inch ratchet, and it is not just a nut or a bolt. It's actually the anode rod for the hot water heater. Now when this comes out of here, you'll see white stuff come out in the water. All right, so while we let that go, we'll just let that continue to drain. If we look at this anode rod, this is just a rod of aluminum that it's called a sacrificial anode rod, because this corrosion and calcium deposit basically builds up on this instead of builds up on the inside of your hot water heater. That calcium deposit can build up so much that it can corrode the hot water heater and make it very inefficient. So this is brand new. It's about 6 months old. Actually, this is about 6 months old. I replaced it 6 months ago, and you can see in 6 months of full-time living how much it built up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to stick a wand, this wand, in there, and we're going to run water in there, and we're going to rinse out the bottom and see if we can get any more calcium deposit to come out. You can kind of see those little white chunks in the water. Oh, see them coming over the side there? So I don't know if you can see it, but there's a bunch of little white chunks. This actually isn't too bad. I'm glad that I did it when I did. If you leave this for too long, you'll get big white chunks coming out of there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera down. We're gonna finish rinsing this thing. Alright, so I'm fairly well assured. Looks pretty good. The water coming out of there is clear. There is no more white stuff, no more little calcium deposits coming out. So now what we just need to do is, at this point, I'm going to let that drain all the way out. And then what we're going to do is put some sealant, some thread sealant on this bad boy, and stick it back in. Okay, so this is all put back in. I dried this all up so that I can inspect it to make sure it's not leaking. This valve is still open, and what we're going to do is we're going to go turn water onto the coach, and we are going to let the hot water heater fill up until it just starts to dribble out of here, and then we'll close this valve. That'll make sure that the right level is in there without over pressurizing it, etc. Now, once the hot water heater is full and we've closed this valve, once a little bit of water has come out, which we did, then we just look for leaks. Just make sure this isn't leaking, and it is not. So once we know that that's not leaking, then I guess it's time to go turn the hot water heater on and make some hot water. So there you go. The whole process takes about half hour, 45 minutes, maybe a little longer the first time you do it. I would definitely recommend doing it every 6 months minimum. When I first got this thing, I don't think it had been done very regularly, and it took me a long time the first time. Actually, you should do this at your sticks and bricks house too. Flush your hot water heater, get the sediment out of the bottom, and replace that sacrificial anode rod, or at least inspect it on a regular basis. I didn't even know that owning a house for years and years until a few years ago. But anyway, they all have it, even these things. So make sure you do that. Just the peace of mind knowing that it's maintained is good, and especially on a smaller tank like this, and varying water qualities, varying mineral levels, you know, because you're all over the place, you know, traveling and stuff. It's good to do it on a regular basis. So anyway, I hope that helps. A couple little tools and stuff that we use, the little wand and that sort of stuff, we'll put links to that in the description of the video. You can buy that on Amazon. If you use those links, that helps us out just a little bit. It's no extra cost to you. We do appreciate it. Make sure you check out on Patreon. This video is already on Patreon, by the way. It's been on Patreon. So you can see videos early over there on patreon.com/musicandmascara. Also, make sure you come and hang out with us Sunday nights at 9:30 Eastern time and talk about RV stuff and traveling and various things. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.